I needed to do. Let me fix this. I was having a moment with Source, and of course, had to hit the record button. Never really understanding why. Why do I have to have my most vulnerable moments? I can't even speak. My most vulnerable moments. Well, guess what? I didn't care when I was in church, and I don't care now. Because I get how this works. Me personally, I get how it works. Yesterday, I had a day where I'm going to say I had to perform. And by that, I mean, just like me, you're probably in a position, whether school, job, whatever, where you have to be a certain way or do certain things that no longer really align. And by that, the bottom line is I had a care conference. That's just I should say the truth of the matter is, because that's our foundation. That's where we're starting. There was a care conference. And those who don't know, care conference is basically, let's just say, parent-teacher night. That's also a care conference. If you have a family member in the hospital and they say, hey, you see like a little sit down and you sit there and you talk about what's going on and what the plan is, right? So, like I've told you before, I'm in a nursing facility. Which is like, this is my first time really being in one. Like I've been in them before, but never in this like capacity. Like I have a different role. And the role I have is it's interesting. I believe that no matter what, it's all customer service. Like it's all love. It's customer service, AKA love. Should be love. And that's where you run into people that are in places they shouldn't be in. In my opinion, a healthcare facility needs people that care, that genuinely want to be there. That won't get annoyed with you, frustrated with you, overwhelmed by you. All those negative emotions in general, most people are carrying. And if you're like me, you're surrounded by a lot of those people. And why I said I was I keep hearing acting. It's not bad. Don't take it like it's a bad thing. It's like, stand up from among them and be ye separated, saith the Lord. How are you different? I know I'm different. I know I'm different when I'm by myself. I know I'm different when I'm by myself. Or when I'm around, not now, when I'm around like-minded people. Most of the like-minded people are on YouTube. And it just seems like in order to receive, you have to stop acting like them. So my care conference, what I don't want to say bothered me, but what was missing, that's funny. Whether I say bothered or not, the feeling is what matters. That's the other thing, right? It is what it is. If you say it, if it's coming out your mouth and then you're like trying to correct it, there's no correcting your mouth. The feeling already happened. So, yeah, it did take me there. It did. But, man, let me tell you something. This gets really fun. It gets very like, oh, okay, I got it. Like you like fall, you're like, oh, okay, I can see where I kind of drifted and was going down the money hole a lot longer than I needed to. You know, you don't take anything for a just so happen. It's happening, and then how you're feeling while it's happening is how you were feeling right before it happened. Or how you've been feeling. So I'm on here. So okay, so I had the care conference, and at no time did this person's the observation that others had of how this person can be behavior wise, it never came up. It couldn't be a real conversation, which is what I think leads to change. A real conversation. What's really going on? What's really going on is a cycle of pain. A cycle of pain. I'm gonna wrap it up. A cycle of pain, meaning there's this gentleman, and the word is comorbidities, like basically has current issues, medical issues that aren't life-threatening, and then has other things that, could probably send him to the hospital and things like that. Went from being able to not being able to. So from independent to dependent. So that happens a lot, That's anybody. That's you having a baby. You went from independent to dependent. Having a baby meaning you now are kind of like incapacitated for a little bit, I'm trying to get us to kind of like understand all these different situations, but it's the same emotion. It's that same weird feeling emotion, but all different like situations, right? So you have a man in a nursing home, used to be independent, now isn't. That's a feeling, that's not a nice feeling, right? And now he's attracting people who are burnt out. They're tired. And then he has lip. He's doing that because he's intelligent. And the ones who are working can't handle that. They get into a fight. You know what they told me the other day? Whenever he gets like that, we need you to go in. Which I'm okay going in, but you're not gonna do that to me. And the more aligned I stay, the less you're gonna find me. You're not gonna find me, honey. You understand? This morning, I finally slowed down. I stopped. And by that I mean I stopped needing anything outside of me to kind of like help me through. I'm done now. I was still I'm having my moment with you. I was still in a way just relying on like hearing it over and over. And it's not like I went searching. Universe was consistent. There was no divergence. It was the same message over and over. And yet I continued to kind of like hit play. And by when I say message over and over, it's like it's different people, but it's the same thing. Because like I said, the people I feel most connected to or have most in common with are those who are on YouTube. Those around me seem to still be, there's no seem to, there's no seem to. The ones around me in my current reality that I am observing, and that's why I hit the record button, because if you're seeing me, you're different. And because you know this, you can see it in others, right? But the key is to not stay like them. They're not bad. They're just misled, or they're like it hasn't like clicked into place. So it seems to me that just like me, you've done the work, you're doing the work, but you're still like, but wait, I thought that my world is a reflection of how I feel. Then why am I surrounded with these crazy ass motherfuckers? Just kidding. Why am I surrounded by this? Why are people you're supposed to see it and not react to it? Because that's how you separate yourself. But if you see it, you observe it, and then you're just kind of like thinking what I just said, which is, oh, am I doing this? Da da da. You start. Then that's where the doubt comes in, right? When doubt comes in, you're done. Doubt, you're done, right? And once doubt creeps in, remember, it's the feeling, right? That's the same in these multitude of situations in life. So my moment with spirit this morning, my moment with myself included, actually, I was laughing. I was in the shower and I said, this is why you're supposed to meditate. But guess what? I had not been meditating. I thought what I was doing, which was, I like the word calibrating. If I'm in bed, I wake up and I just kind of like, I'm thinking, and I'm like, it's almost like I'm just like, okay, no, that one doesn't matter. No, that one's not important. That one's not important. And if there was one thing that cheered me up or put a smile on my face or made me feel like, okay, I feel good. All right, bet. I would not hit the road, but I would just get up and go. Get up and go. And it's as if the world just was happening. It was like a blur. I get home and I'm like, whew, what the hell was that? Like I was in some kind of, like my regular day. I'm exposed. Bottom line, it's because you're one unit, you're one person, one entity. You are, right, and then you are exposed to many others, and it is your job to kind of like allow it to bounce off of you. And the bouncing off of these energies, and by energies, it's personalities, it's, you're just seeing stuff. You're seeing people have breakdowns. You're seeing people get upset. You're seeing people happy. You're seeing people frustrated. You're seeing people get their needs met, get people not get their needs met. You're seeing accidents on the road. You're seeing people trip and fall. You're watching the news. Well, you don't watch the news, but let's just say you happen to be, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what like my point. It doesn't matter. You could be in the elevator and somebody just puts on something or just goes like, hey, did you hear? You know what I mean? It's a bunch of situations, but it's the same feeling. So the feeling is important. So did I used to meditate? Not after I kind of figured this out. I kind of stopped, hung on to it. However, realized this morning that I was still ill prepared. I was still not, because the point of the meditation is to kind of like prime it. Like, okay, you you put the ingredients together, then you bake. right? So it's kind of like, all right, are you prepared to bake? Are you prepared? Like you have everything you need. And everything you need is really just reassurance. Remind yourself who you are, right? I'm an energetic being. This is how this life works. My life is created by how I feel. The better I feel, the better things are. I can't worry about this. I can't worry about that. And then you go down. By now, you should have a list. You go down your best qualities. You know, when you look at someone and you're like, oh my God, this, that, and the third, and you could just list their qualities. Do it for yourself. What's so cool about you? What makes you special? Why do you like you? Why do people like you? They do. They do. Why do you like others? What's in you? What are you seeing in them? Do that list. That helps. You know? So, all you're going to take away from this video is today, what you're going to do is be separate emotionally, like on your feeling state. Today you will be separated. You're going to see it and you're going to decide, for me, not for me. Let's do that. Let's do that. I love that I had this moment with you. I really do. There's this like feeling that like there's more to say. So I'm just kind of like all right, so what did I say? This is me in my head, y'all. There is a voice there. Okay? At least for me. And I trust it. And then I test it. I test it by whatever conversation is happening. How do I feel while this conversation is happening? That's it. You just gotta like filter. You just gotta like, you have to, no, not tap in. Okay, so we're gonna use a bunch of words. So you have to tap in, you have to lock in, you have to. So basically, I'm using words and I'm saying things that mean how it feels when you start to listen to and trust the voice of your higher self. So that voice can be audible. I don't know. I'm just me. Yes. So for me, it's audible. It's like I can almost hear it. And it's familiar because I've heard it before. I've heard it all my life, honestly. And I never question. I'm just human. I'm chill. Not just human, but like I'm here. At the time, you're just like, okay, you don't think about it till the conversation comes up. But yeah, it's the voice that says, hey, why don't you give that person your seat? Or hey, why don't you offer that person some of your food? Why don't you offer that person help? Or if that person asks for help, you say, sure, and actually mean it. When I say listen to that voice, that's the voice. It's nice. It's very kind. It's loving. It's generous. It's pure. It's sweet. It's funny. It's courageous. It is. It's brave. It says things. You know what I mean? So you start to follow that. So yeah. How you know is because It feels like the couple of things I mentioned. It feels right. It feels okay. It feels like, okay, all right. It feels easy. It feels like it clicks in. It feels like a puzzle piece, like when a puzzle piece fits together, and you go like, yay. um, that's what that is. So I just got out the shower. I'm about to get myself dressed. I already said I'm glad we had this moment together. All is well. All is well. Trust that all is well. And be more yourself today. And you're going to be different. It means you're going to be different. This will be interesting. Well, I've already, most people shouldn't be, I've already heard it like I've always heard all my life. You're too nice. People say it a lot. I get that a lot. So-and-so's nice, but you're like really nice. You're too nice. And I don't think I am. I think I just care. And when you care, you can't just leave it half. You know what I mean? Like you got to do it. Especially when it comes to other people, our brothers and sisters, because thank God, especially if you're helping, you got to be grateful. You got to be like, wow, I'm not in that situation. But this is what I can do. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Because that person is in that unfortunate situation. And yes, you can tell they are frustrated. A lot of them, I have a lady who, oh my God. I have a lady who went blind. It was an accident. She went blind, young woman. There's a lot I see. And yet to see all that and to know that that's all preventable. Do you believe it's preventable? It's preventable. Anyway. Listen, anybody who is, so I'll tell you what I feel and then I'll go. Wow. Listen, I'm here and I know me. This lifestyle, I'll call it, this way of life that may seem unfamiliar because it's not how you've been living, right? And you're learning you were doing it wrong the whole time. So now you have to switch. So now you have to put in the so-called work, because that's what you were doing before. You were working before. It just seemed easier. But now it's going to seem a little challenging because not the average Joe is doing it. But do it. Do it. You're not seeing me by accident. Like I said earlier, I don't quite understand, but here I am. I am very obedient to the voice that I hear within me. It's very what one would call religious, right? It's not, I'm just using the word. That's the thing. We're so stuck on words, guys. Who knows how you're going to depict that word? But I know what I mean by that word. And I don't mean it by the word religion. I mean it by, like, I have very animated, fun spirit guides. I also, excuse me, I also can I can like not feel when someone transitions, but I am sure that they're happy. So whenever I encounter someone who is going through a tough time or goes over that story of loss, of when they lost someone or when someone crossed over or died or whatever, however, they replay that story over and over, they come across me because whoever it is you're referring to wants you to stop and get happy and be happy, like you're not going to receive if all you're doing is dwelling on how this person died, why they died, when they die. Like, it's just not your concern because the person is okay now. But now you're not. You're now here, not realizing that that heavy emotion you're carrying, those thoughts, that story you keep telling is causing you to not be in the state of being you need to consistently be in order to live the life you want. Anyway, my what I was trying to say is that my spirit guides and those who've crossed over, they're very funny, right? So I used the word religion earlier, but it's only because I'm supposed to say, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. And if you were in private school like me or went to Catholic church, that's what the priest says at the end. But I could hear laughter. It's like, go in peace and love and serve the Lord, which isn't bad, but it's like, how many times did we sit on the edge of our seat waiting for the priest? Shut up already. At least me, I was ready to go. I was always ready to go. Never like sitting in that pew. No matter where I was just ready to go. Until I developed relationship. I developed relationship, then that wanting to go feeling had nothing to do with being tired or bored or like, I want to hear this. No. My wanting to go was to not be around everybody else who was seemingly in love with God and wanting to do good and be good. You know, they were falling out. I went to a lot of churches. When I started to really seek God and what this was all about, I left the Catholic Church and I just started to go to different churches. So yeah, no, people don't fall out in the Catholic Church. But it is a lot of repetition, a lot of like the rosary is a lot of like yeah, repetition. Why divination? What does that mean? Whatever. I don't know what that means. I'm not looking it up. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. You do it. You look it up. I don't know what it means. I will look it up later. Because it's all about the feeling for me. The words shouldn't mean anything. So as you're listening to me, all you should be thinking to yourself is whether or not whatever this lady is saying makes sense to me. And if it doesn't, turn it off. Don't do that to yourself. Stop listening and watching things that don't align. It's just not for you. It's just not for you. But for me, listen, whether it's just one of you, okay? You're not meeting me by accident. You know? So yeah, that's all. That's all I'm gonna do today. But anyway, I stopped because I was about to go on and on about the my my upbringing and these why I can laugh about go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Oh, and then when I said I left the church because initially, as a child or whatever, you just don't want to be there. But then you get older, you develop relationship, at least I did. And I left the church because It just seemed like a lot of, the word is hypocrisy. It's a lot of saying one thing and doing another. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how you could be so um, good in church and nice, and you're always talking about somebody else. It just didn't make sense to me. Now I know why. I didn't know at the time. And you could have called me a runner at the time, someone who was fearful or whatever. No, I looked fearful. I just pulled away. I pulled away. It's so funny, right? Any of my friends will tell you, "But Daniel never returned your call." And I never could understand that part of me because it felt right. But I love them. It's like, I love you, but I don't really want to hang out with you right now. I do love you, but I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to. And it is the word presumptive. Like, I never said I don't answer the phone because I already know where the conversation's going. Never really wanted to make anyone feel that way, but that's what it was. But that's what's required for you to separate yourself, for you to see the difference. You have to get to that point where you separate. Not in a mean way. You're fine. Right before I started, when I was in the shower, I was thinking to myself, because I visualized that care conference. And when I said I had to put on a show or act or whatever I used earlier, it's because I didn't necessarily care to be there. Because I knew we're sitting here making promises, at least from the nursing point, the dude is complaining about, I don't get this, I don't get that, I don't get this. Well, we're not staffed accordingly for the amount of needs you're telling this person that we can meet. I need caring people, because caring people just have a way, when you're caring, when you're someone who moves at a pace, an easy pace, and you're just pretty much very easygoing. I don't know, when you're already tapped in, woke, awake, things just don't seem hard. It'll flow as long as we're all working together, and that's just the bottom line. And I know that's all that's required, is that everyone just kind of like take it easy, soften your heart, relax. That's the only way change will come. Stop judging and just be easy. Just be easy. So yeah, I didn't separate myself. Well, I kind of did, but I didn't separate myself much yesterday. So this morning, my quiet time. Whew, those of you with me, man, thank God. You want to know the problem too? It's not even a problem. It's the fact that there's no back and forth. So I have to keep catching where I left off. So I get why people edit, but too bad. This is me. Source says no editing, has said no editing from the jump, which is fine because I don't have an editor. Well, I have my daughter, but Source said no. So yeah, I come on here. There are videos that I made in the dark because I'm like, oh my gosh, Source, please stop. And I got the okay. Like, yeah, no, you don't. I just need the message out, I personally don't watch videos. Not really. I listen. Oh, if you're interested in who I used to listen, Abraham Hicks helped me a lot. Yeah. Abraham Hicks helped me a lot. It's very similar to who I am, who I feel is at my core. Inner being, inner man, inner self. So anyway, no more. not doing it anymore. Like I was saying, I'm already different. So I'm just here to say, be different. Be different, and you should see the difference, sense the difference. Call it a test, call it whatever, but when you see that stuff, just don't engage. Okay? All right. Have a most beautiful day. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I do. And I can say I love you without even knowing you. And why is that? Because I love me. I love me. So if I love me, then I love you. Does that make sense? I look forward to the day when we're all together. I wonder what it'll be like. What will we talk about? What? Man, this is just so nice. And I'm very thankful. And I'm very grateful. And God is good. And God is real. And God is in you. Not the God part of it. Well, extension of it. Which makes you a God too. You a little God, right? You just on this earth, just love, guys. Just love. Be nice, be kind. Don't take anything personally. Don't try to be anybody for anyone. Be yourself. True, unapologetically you. It either is or it isn't. Why do you feel that way? Hey, let the public know. Boop-a-doo-boop. Bop. Leave me alone. Oh.